مرحبا. تشكر دريم كيف we will drop Turkish now and just switch to English, but yes, super exciting to be here. I guess you can hear me, right? Great. So yeah, my name is Yair Cleper. I'm a contributor at Lava Network and co-founder, CEO and Magma Devs. um, Lava basically, and the first concept with Magma Devs, we founded that 3 years ago. Prior to that, me and my co-founders are serial entrepreneurs from Israel, founded a few startups, and have very vast technical knowledge. And together, 4 years ago, we jumped into Web3. And the first stop was when we thought about how everyone can access infrastructure, can access uh, blockchains, read write data, and the simple operation functions that we are using from the blockchain. So yeah, we jump to the next slide. But our vision and mission from the beginning wants that we are building and supporting blockchains from ground up. Means that we're solving a super complex problem that at the core of blockchain technology, and we build products that at the end of the day people use every day. I'm going to show you in a bit how we're going to do that, but we're helping them scale in order at the end of the day to make their experience much smoother. So if you think about Lava, basically, it's a kind of a four-sided marketplace. Um, yeah, you can go back to the previous slide. So we'll type one when moving this slide. Thank you. So if you think about Lava, it's a four-sided marketplace. At the end of the day, uh, blockchains, rollups, any chain need to use the RPC. RPC is the language of blockchains and use in order to interact with the blockchain itself, read-write transaction. So on the one hand, Lava providing the access for the RPC, dApps to build, and users to use any kind of information from the blockchain. The other side of the marketplace, we have the data providers, node runners. Some of them you are really familiar with, such as Alchemy, Blockdaemon, Chainstack, but some of them are community node runners, someone that will use at the beginning to build the chain, help and support to make it scale, and they running nodes. So they also can use Lava and monetize their existing infrastructure. The other side of that are the applications, the dApps, the wallets, the AI agents, and those are the ones that we call data consumers, that helping simply they want the data, they want to read write the transaction, and at the end of the day, to use Lava infrastructure in order to get access and connect to the blockchain. The last ones are everyone who are the delegators, everyone who can stake or restake with the Lava token, and they help to secure the chain, but also can help the providers to get more service and improve the overall performance of the network. So yeah, if you can think about in general, next slide, please. So yeah, if you think about in general, like every chain that wants an infrastructure today, they're going to different node runners. They're asking them, "Can you support us?" They end up with a lock-in contract. They're not sure about the service, and we wanted to make it much more simple. We created a public good that every chain can spin up its own pool. So chains are, launching this pool with incentives. Instead of having an infrastructure budget for a year, you simply spinning up their own pool, and providers join, and at the end of every month, the provider receive rewards based on the quality of service and compute that they provided to the chain. So the provider are incentivized to do a good service. And this is how the overall chain is kind of pairing them to the different applications and routing the transactions based on the geolocation to the best node providers. At the end of the day, when any application data consumer that wants to use to build on a dedicated chain, they don't need to think, should we go to use this provider and another provider? They have a one-stop shop helping them to connect to the best provider. And the provider is constantly being scored by the performance, the latency, the uptime, and the availability. Next slide, please. Good. So I was explaining at the beginning what is RPC. We can go to the next slide. But at the end of the day, this is the most basic function. Like if you think about how minting a token, if you're opening the wallet is talking to an RPC provider and of the chain, making sure you have your balance, you have the accurate price, you do the swaps, and so forth. Can you skip a slide, please? Good. Yeah. So that's exactly what you see. If you hear a lot of times about fail or airdrop and user that cannot check their account balance, many times the problem is the RPC, and this is the goal what we try to do Lava for, to bring Lava for. Next slide. Yeah, so the chain is live for over half a year, the mainnet. It's already distributing and generating revenues. They have more than 12 different pools. And at the end of the presentation, I'm gonna share the link. So everyone who's a bit more technical, able to join the pools and just provide services and receive rewards. Next slide. I think it's the last slide. Yes. So please feel free. At the end of the day, all the information is in our website, but currently there are thousands of different providers that are providing services across 50 more chains. Day to day, providing services and billions of requests daily, and also millions of unique users. So, this is permissionless. I'm inviting everyone to join and to support the effort of improving the infrastructure at the end of the day. Can you move to the next presentation, please? Amazing. So until now, we were focusing on building a competitive edge in AI infrastructure, right? In the different chains we serve, we have almost 100% uptime. And we see the adoption and retention rate just growing. So serving more and more chains, at the end of the day, it's removing the burden of the different chains to think about infrastructure, right? When you, for example, typing www.google, no one of you is really thinking in which geolocation the servers of Google is located. Do I have the up-to-date information? There's somebody changing the information I see on the browser, or so forth, right? So this is what we want to simplify also in Web3. Next slide, please. Yeah. So at the end of the day, what we realized at the beginning of the year, after a lot of AI agents and framework reach out to us, is that we would like to give users, application AI agents, the best RPC API access to every blockchain. And at the end of the day, it means that if you compare blockchain to, and make the analogy that it's a city, inside the city, you have buildings that represent applications, and you have AI agents, wallets, and users, each and one of us, that going around the city. So in order to go in the city, you need to own the roads. You need to build an amazing roads, whether it's a pedestrian road, whether it's highways. But this is actually the analogy of what Lava is doing in Web3. Next slide, please. Yeah, so I was explaining up today about the rewards, and sorry for the last minute presentation, but by the way, I like more this font, so hopefully you agree with me. But at the end of the day, Lava is already live and supporting hundreds of different daily applications and different blockchains, and was making a lot of mileage within this marketplace. So really serving data and simplifies the way to get access to data on more than 50 blockchains already. Next slide, please. But now, at the beginning of the year, after a couple of AI frameworks reach out, we realized that what the next evolution of where the infrastructure is growing is obviously to support AI. And like the different different colleagues here that were speaking before me was saying is like at the end of the day, AI agents don't sleep, they don't take breaks, and you will have until the end of the year the majority of the transactions going through agents. So at the end of the day, if Lava has 100% uptime, this could really serve the need to get them. But one of the evolutions that there are a couple of teams that building that right now on Lava is how do we get the quickest or fastest, the cheapest response when aggregating different agents, right? So the same way that a provider is signing up on Lava, I need to stake Lava, I need to keep a high availability uptime. The same way, you can compare that to agents. And if when DeepSeek was presented, obviously you said, oh, with a friction of the price that was used to train the model for OpenAI, DeepSeek can get a much better response, the reasoning process, stuff like that. So one of the implementations that currently happening on Lava is an aggregation of different AI agents in order to answer who can provide me an answer with the best price possible. So this is something that is currently happening, and I'm super excited about that. Next slide, please. The next evolution of the agent, we were thinking like it's very similar to what we're working on now as the Infra manager product. So enterprises, high volume applications, at the end of the day, platforms that need the availability of the data, the reliability, they don't care only about the fast, but they care a lot about the quality. So Lava is shifting from the cost base to a performance focused services. That's going to be the next generation of the agents. So in this scenario, the reputation is much more for these users. I mean, the reputation is much more important for the trust and accountability among the node operators or the agents. And this is when notions like MCP, model context protocol, or machine context protocol, they are standardizing the way that this exchange of information can be. So they helping top tier models deliver better performance and state of the art performance by bringing them forward. So this goes to the fact that the connecting MCP to providers with much richer context for cutting edge models, that's ensuring at the end of the day that the quality is going to be much higher. And this is the second phase that I see the chain is going to. Next slide, please. Yeah. So at the end of the day, when we think about the different parameters um, different users as different needs, but you can categorize them into two basic groups, right? When both of us, myself, when we're typing on ChatGPT, we want to get the best answer that probably not going to cost us a lot, not going to cost us personally, but not going to cost also the model. So we are much more budget conscious. The type of the model should be lightweight. We need to have a conversation. I remember at the beginning when we had the conversation with ChatGPT, the delay is like, it takes a long time, but now there are amazing models out there that can give you a real-time performance. And yeah, that's, all of these parameters are different for the enterprise usage. I heard a very beautiful thing lately when saying that there is, instead of the thought that enterprises that until now were using programmers, so now they're gonna switch everything to no-code platforms, or platforms that help them generate the code much faster. The right approach, I think, is that enterprise will, at the end of the day, they will open them new features and use cases that were not available for them before. And not that they're going to take a shift budget for one thing to another, but they're going to create new roles, new positions, and new budgets that will give them, at the end of the day, capture more market for profit companies at the end of the day. So that enterprise, they're looking also on the quality-driven approach. And, for them, if you make a mistake, the higher operational cost is much more important, right? So I think, can we go to the next slide, please? Yeah. So I see I don't have much time, but we can skip one more slide. Yeah, one more. Yeah, so I think in general, when you think about Lava and the next state of AI infrastructure, you think how, at the end of the day, you need a network that's going to be a user-owned, that's going to be scalable, and align with the cutting-edge AI. You need to consider how staking or providing node services or creating your own best agent can be used to building that and get access to the overall community, the overall Web3 community. But a lot of things that's happening now in Web3 with AI are also applicable to the Web2 use case, right? This is what we want at the end of the day, to bring more adoption and to bring real use cases from the real world to blockchain. Last slide, please. Yeah, so I'm encouraging all of you right now. If you are a developer, if you build the next agent and you're lacking the infrastructure, if you're building an application and you want to get access to blockchain, also multi-chain, obviously. So it's something that definitely we can support you on Lava. And yeah, stay tuned with a lot of new updates are coming soon. And hope to see you at Token 49.